Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you guys are doing well, good and active. This is Dr. Saf from Self Capital. Personally, from my side today, I'm very excited about the meeting we're about to have because it's going to break down one of the most fundamental points within the Forex markets, and that's actually centered around market manipulation. And I bet that you guys have a lot of questions in your mind. Is market manipulation real? Is market manipulation something that exists in the Forex market? And how can you personally take advantage of market manipulation, right? Those are the questions in which I'm personally going to be answering today on this Zoom meeting. I believe that a lot of you guys can maybe learn a few things from it. And I believe that a lot of people from this meeting can also maybe just help into depth or help into a much more broader understanding of it, right? And that can only happen if you guys maybe understand the concepts of market manipulation. That can only happen if you guys understand the concepts of maybe manipulation in general within the markets, right? Because it is a real thing. It is something that occurs. It is something that in which a lot of people know about. But the thing is, how do you get around it? And I know that a lot of people have that question at mind. How do you get around market manipulation? How can you get around the manipulation in which happens on a day-to-day basis within the Forex market? Because a lot of people have that question. I also had that question when starting out, right? It's a question which I personally had. And I believe that today I might personally answer the question of how to get around market manipulation in your technical trading, how to get around manipulation in general within trading, right? So let's just wait for a few people to enter the meeting so we can start with today's meeting. I believe that it's going to be going to be useful for a lot of people. So, gents, I'm currently recording by my side, so I don't think you guys should record because it might make it the network a little bit slower. That's the only thing that I request, right? So I'm recording from my side. Y'all don't need to record. You're gonna get this recording after this. So, ladies and gentlemen, market manipulation. How can you guys take advantage of the markets? How can you personally maybe in the best ways avoid market manipulation as a whole, right? How can you personally avoid it? How can you personally go around it? If you cannot avoid it, you most definitely need to know how to go around it, right? Because a lot of traders come into the markets, a lot of traders come into trading in general, right? And you guys feel as if learning the strategy alone is what is going to make you profitable. And personally, from my side, I could say that is quite true. It is not the whole truth, but it's quite true. And another question you guys might maybe come to understand is maybe ask yourselves is maybe if I learn the technicals and the psychological part of the Forex, that would make me profitable. On theory, on paper, that is supposed to make you profitable, but does it always happen? Does it always happen that understanding just the technicals and mastering your psychology will make you profitable, right? And I know a lot of traders, we come against this or we come to the understanding of this, that it's not always the case. It's not always the case where you can personally master those technicals and from that point you're up, right? It's not always from the case where you can master the psychology. Be willing to trade with money that you're willing to lose. It's not always the case in which you're willing to master your psychology and you're just going to become profitable once all of a sudden. It's not always the case. Now, how can you guys maybe be put in a position in which you can maybe tackle the markets themselves, tackle the markets absentia from your technicals, tackle the markets from absentia from your psychology, but understanding market manipulation as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that you need to understand right over here is the information that's going to be popped into this chat is very important for you guys. And personally, for me, I'd say this information is also important for me because you understand that the Forex market is an industry in which is traded with billions of dollars, not rands, billions of dollars, right? Let me just share my screen real quick so you guys can also see what I'm personally going to be looking at today when analyzing with you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, one thing you need to understand is the Forex market as a whole is an industry in which is traded with billions of dollars, right? Now, do you think that an industry that is traded with billions of dollars is just going to allow you to make money just easy like that? Now, those are the questions in which you should be asking yourself. Does an industry in which is maybe traded with billions of dollars, right? Do you think that that kind of industry is just going to allow you to make money as you please? Now, that's a question to answer for yourselves. That's a question to answer for yourselves. It's $1 trillion industry. Guys, there's millions, there's billions, then there's trillions, right? Like trillions is the next level. That's the kind of level that everybody on earth, personally, I know even billionaires want to get to, right? And the thing is, the Forex market is an industry that makes a daily turnover of more than $1 trillion. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just show you guys my trades for the week and which I personally took. And then afterwards, I'm going to hop into a conversation of market manipulation and how you can personally avoid it, how you can personally get out of the market on a safer side. Now, right over here, I don't even need to go far to just show you this example of market manipulation, right? I don't even need to go far. Right over here on GBP USD, this is actually the 1 hourly time frame. I actually didn't take position on this trade as yet because I knew that something needs to happen first. So, ladies and gentlemen, for any retail trader, right, I think it's quite obvious how you guys would have maybe wanted to trade the markets in this instance, but manipulation came into play. What is the kind of manipulation which I'm talking about? This is the kind of manipulation I'm talking about, right? The manipulation is when the market takes you out, but then goes back into your direction. I know a lot of traders have encountered situations like this. That's the thing. I know that you guys have encountered situations whereby the market takes you out, just like right over here, right? The market takes you out before going into your direction. This is actually a thing in Forex. It is actually a thing when understanding your technicals. Look, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you would have understood the psychology. Maybe you've mastered the psychology. Maybe you've mastered your technicals. But what happens when you just risk your account right over here and it takes you out? Those kind of things kind of affect you. But now I want to teach you a way in which you can deviate from that. I want to teach you a way in which you can go around it so that the market doesn't always need to manipulate you in general, right? Like for me personally, with 6 years worth of experience within the Forex markets, I've come to the understanding of knowing that you can't beat the market makers, but you can what? Join them. You understand me? So you can't beat the market makers. The only thing you can do is join them. And what does joining them mean? Now, that's where we're hopping into maybe that's what we're going to be hopping into today. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right over here in this expanding channel, we have that first touch right over here. We have the second touch right over here, and we have the third touch, as you guys can see right over here. But one thing that is very interesting from this chart is a lot of retail traders, right? Let me just show you. This is just the truth. They brought daylight, and then first in the first example. So this is a good example, right? So a lot of retail traders, they just say you were trading support and resistance or whatever, right? They just say it was support and resistance, just to be fair with you, right? Or you're trading in this trend line, third touch of this trend line. You're like, okay, the books, all books of or trading PDFs might tell you that it is actually relevant for you to enter on the third touch of a trend line or to enter at levels of support and resistance in the Forex market. But look at this instance right over here. Look at this exactly, ladies and gentlemen. Price came 1, 2, 3 touch. On the third touch, we got manipulated. Then price started doing what? Price started going back into our direction. Now, for the normal trader, I'm telling you guys, stop losses would have been below this low, right? When entering, because you know that, okay, cool, this is how it's supposed to be. That's what the textbook says. Ne? But then the textbook tells you to enter on the third touch. I want to teach you how to mentor after the manipulation of the third touch. You see, now that's where me and the normal trading society like exchange heads because it's all about understanding the strategy in which you're taught, yes, but then taking your own route within that strategy. Do you get me? Like taking your own route, forging your own path, and understanding the markets for yourself. Like one thing that I always say to my traders and one thing that I always say to the people around me is each and every person coming into Forex, right, has a unique strategy that is as unique as that fingerprint. So if you look at your thumb right now, I just want everybody to do a practical example right now by looking at your thumb. Look at your thumb. Do you believe that the print on your thumb is as different to each and every person on earth? Nobody on earth has the same fingerprint. And that's how unique you are as an individual, right? Now, it also goes hand in hand with the trading strategy. How you're going to understand and interpret your strategy is going to be uniquely unique to you. You as a person needs to forge that strategy. You as a person need to understand those critical points and areas in which you're personally going to be going into. Nobody on earth can actually do that for you. And once you personally understand that, that's where you put yourself in a better position to capitalize in the market. Now, this is my strategy, the soft capital strategy, and let me show you how I personally interpret these graphs. So we have the first touch, as you guys can see, second touch, third touch, got manipulation, went back up, but I want to show you this on a higher time frame, right? So the conversation doesn't get boring. And you can see that this thing is fractal. It happens on all time frames. But the most important thing for you guys to do is wait, be patient, and take advantage of it when it's the right time. As you guys can see on a 4-hourly time frame, this is the chart zoomed out. This is what happened. We have that first touch over here, the second touch over here, and we got the manipulation right over here on the third touch. Ladies and gentlemen, what does Soft Capital say? Soft Capital, Dr. Saf from Soft Life FX says, do not enter on the third touch. Enter on the manipulation of the third touch. Now, that's the strategy in which I'm going to be telling you guys about. Don't enter on the third touch. Enter on the manipulation of the third touch. As you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, we had that first touch, the second touch, and we got the manipulation right over here, and price started selling to the downside. Now, one thing you guys can do right over here, ladies and gentlemen, is without any fear of doubt, maybe start to look for rejections in price. I think this looks like a nice order block place or fair value area in order to get sales to the downside from, right? Either here or here, up here. But this looks more prominent up here. I believe that the market might actually push to the upside. Then when it pushes up to the upside like that, we might possibly get reversals to the downside, or we might actually get our reversals up here, right? Because this right over here just confirms everything in which I'm talking to you guys about. And I want you guys to understand. If we get a manipulation right over here, or price pushes up, get that once down, get some more consolidation like that, then shoot down, that's maybe where I might try to get invested. That's the first point of interest in which I might actually try to get invested into, right? After the manipulation of that high, possibly. But one thing that you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that price might actually get manipulated as we go, right? Price might get manipulated around this highs or this lows as we go. And it is very important for you maybe to see and understand that. Because in the long term, one thing that you need to read and understand thoroughly is the markets will benefit you most when you're the most patient for it. Now, the reason why a lot of traders, ladies and gentlemen, lose in the Forex market is basically that it draws down to your patience, right? It comes down to your patience. And your patience is one of the most important things I can say, personally, from my understanding. And the second thing is your broker. Ladies and gentlemen, as much as there is market manipulation, there is broker manipulation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, from here at Soft Capital, I'm not going to throw you to the birds. I'm actually going to give you a broker or put you onto a broker and which might personally have your best interests at heart. A broker in which I also personally use, a broker in which I personally trust, and a broker in which I know is going to be as transparent as you need them to be with your trades. And for me personally, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be space markets, right? Let me do that. As you guys can see, intellectual forex trading. This is a broker in which I personally trust, and this is a broker in which I believe that a lot of people can actually benefit from. And what do I mean that you guys can benefit from space markets? What do I mean in which you guys can actually learn from also space markets? The reason why I say this, ladies and gentlemen, is because space markets is awfully a new broker within South Africa and which offers micro accounts, spread accounts, and also zero spread accounts. So the zero spread account is the sniper account in which we have. We also have 100% bonus for any person who's willing to trade on the space market. So what you put down, we will match it for your trading experience to be valid. And the nice part about our drawdown or our bonus is it's a drawdown bonus, meaning to say you won't get to minus 100 Rand, then we close your trades. No, we're gonna hold your drawdown until it gets to where you personally want it to get, right? And that's space markets for you. It's an awfully new broker in South Africa and which offers tight spreads. And those spreads are actually meant for the trader, the retail trader, to make money from it. And also maybe earn a lot of capital. So that's what space markets generally is. It is a broker in which is out of this world, hence the name Space Markets. It's basically out of this world. So let's hop back to the technicals, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, let's speak back to the technicals, right? So, boys and girls, as I was saying, manipulation happened, then that happened. That was only on GBP USD. Let's hop back into another page in which so I can show you guys this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a signal in which I sent out to the free VIP group, and I think you guys also managed to catch this trade, and which I also managed to catch. This was a phenomenal trade. This was a trade in which I sent out, entered, barcoded, went into deep profits. But those profits is ones in which I'm not going to be sharing with a lot of individuals, because one thing I want you guys to come to the understanding is soft capital has your best interests at heart. And I understand that for the normal retail trader, just showing you profits, just showing you all that might actually disturb your flow. Because, for instance, I remember within my trading journey, right? When I used to buy and sell within the Forex markets, I used to see maybe other influencers buy and sell in the Forex markets, and that would actually influence my trades. Maybe just say I'm buying at a specific level, and personally, if they are not my mentor, because the only thing I take advice from is my mentor, and that's something I also highly advise you guys to get a mentor in which he has your best interests at heart, right? Now, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, when I would enter a trade and I'd see my friends also entering trades, if they didn't enter the same trade or the same direction as me, it would influence me to close, right? Now, that's why I didn't send the results, but I'm most definitely going to cook them up for you guys so you guys can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, the target to the downside is actually, I think, levels around 0.64353. Those are the levels in which I'm personally going to be selling AUD USD to. And I believe that, ladies and gentlemen, this levels are at one in which you guys can also maybe still catch the opportunity to the downside to with. Now, let me show you the manipulation that might have happened here, right? Let me show you the manipulation. So let me actually build up the story for you guys so you guys don't get lost, man. Let me build it up for you guys. So you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have that first touch right over here. This is market manipulation. This is a series of market manipulation. You need to understand this so you can become profitable. We have the first touch over there. We have the second touch over there. And right over here, you guys can see we have a third touch, right? Now, the third touch is normally for traders to buy, all right? I think we can all agree on that. We can all agree that the third touch is normally for traders to buy. That's what the textbook says, right? So here, a lot of traders would have maybe placing their buy positions. What happens? It pushes up. You guys are happy. Wow, it's pushing into my direction. Shoot. And choop, it goes down. Shoots down, wipes out your accounts. Some of you guys are blowing. Some of your stop losses are hit. You also don't understand why. All right? Now, soft capital. What is soft capital? What does the professional trader do? Right? Now, that's the real question. What does a professional trader do? The professional trader sees the move, right? Let me try to remove this right now. The professional trader sees indications within the market that tell him or notify him about the trend. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is more understanding market manipulation is understanding trend. Trend, there's a saying that says the trend is your friend. Like, understand this. The trend is your friend. If you understand that the trend is your friend, you will always be on the right side of the markets because the trend indicates to you where price might actually be going next. Now, as you guys can see, first touch, second touch came up here. A lot of people buy, wipe them out. Now it's selling. Then a lot of people are crying. Oh, what happened to my trades? I thought this thing was gonna buy forever. I thought I was rich. You know, a lot of traders do think like that, right? And especially traders who maybe use high leverage within the Forex markets. It is what it is. So you guys entered right over here. You're feeling safe or you're feeling nice. You got taken out. But soft capital's entries were up here. Soft capital's entries were up here only because of one reason. It's because we understood on the 4 hourly time frame, the trend is still our friend, right? the trend is still our friend. So I personally knew that the break of structure would come up, and that's actually a concept in which I actually explained in my private membership. My private membership, you guys can find me on Soft Capital 7 and also Dr. Soft on this on Instagram. That's where you'll personally get my personal contact details. My phone number is 060-104-1000. 060-104-1000. So basically, that's where you can actually contact me to learn my in-depth strategy of how I personally maybe understand the market manipulation in which occurs within the markets within a much in-depth way, right? Now, AUD/USD, we're on the right side of the markets, price push down. As you guys can see, we entered up here because of understanding how to personally spot indicators that the market makers might come and manipulate traders. All right. Now we understood that. And, personally, it was a profitable trade. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is another trade in which is currently playing out. And I believe that the manipulation story in which I'm telling you guys around each and every time, hey, manipulation, that might actually be playing out right now as we speak, possibly, right? Let me show you, even right, just speaking from this example, a lot of traders would have just sold after this breakout, right? Let's just be honest, guys. A lot of retail traders would have just sold. Maybe put your stop loss on this high, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm selling. And you guys would have sold at the retest of this level, right? Because it would have given you that 1, 2, 3. This is one thing I used to. The thing is, there's no shame in this. This is how I also used to trade. Now, trading like this actually opened my eyes that, hey, there's something here. There's something that is not making 1 + 1 = 7. There's something, right? We figured it out, but it's more of a way in which you guys should like practice. And personally, I can show you how to do kung fu, but that doesn't mean you'll go back and do it. Right? A lot of people, we grew up watching Jackie Chan do stunts on TV. Can you do the moves that Jackie Chan does on TV? No. Why? Because you were not trained by him. You were not taught by him. Also, me, I can tell you that price went like this, manipulation on the spot. But then if you don't take that extra leap of faith to say, okay, cool, I feel and I know that this guy needs to mentor me in order for me to be on the right side of the market. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're playing and burning capital. You're playing and burning your own money. And that's one thing in which personally for me, I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to burn my own capital. I'm not willing to burn my own hard work sweat in order to be on the wrong side of the market. So I'd rather learn first, then earn, because that's the system. You learn, then earn. Now, let's get back to it. As you guys can see, a lot of traders would have sold when it retested over here. You guys would have caught that sell, but look at the market. That's pushing back up. Took you out. Stop loss hit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you guys would have maybe felt as if this is something in which you guys might like feel as if it's negative. But I promise you guys, if you guys were smart about this, right? If you guys would have understood that this is actually something that might happen in the market, you guys would have maybe taken advantage of it in an earlier stage to get on the
Yes.
right time. Do you get it? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important for you guys to also mute yourselves at the same time so the meeting is not disturbed whatsoever. So, guys, understand the markets would have manipulated you guys. And if it manipulated you guys, you would have been in a position whereby you would have been asking yourself, how can you personally make those profits? How can you personally um how can you personally come back, right? How can you personally come back into the markets after that? Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is an important part. Now, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, price is coming back to the point of interest in which I personally wanted to come back to. I believe that price might actually hit that high before coming back to the downside. Let me actually show you the other manipulations in which are also occurred right over here, so you guys can have an understanding of what I'm talking about. You have that first touch that came into here, the second touch that came in here, and as you can see, the second touch actually broke up, came down, consolidated, broke up again, and went down. A lot of traders would have just been selling around levels like this, but it is very important for you guys maybe to understand that if price is behaving in a specific way, it is important for you guys not to be caught in the wrong side of the markets, right? Maybe you guys were selling around of here, your stop loss would have been taken out, and what would have happened right over here? Stop loss is hit. Where is your profit? Your hit, right? That's the kind of manipulations that happen in the market. How can you best eradicate this kind of mistakes? If you are patient. If you are patient in the markets, I promise you guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is very probable that you guys won't get taken out of the market, right? It is highly possible that you guys can have a fighting chance. And if you join the mentorship, where I personally explain these concepts, you will be on the right side of the market. Now, ladies and gentlemen, another pain which I have right over here, as you guys can see, is on gold, right? Ladies and gentlemen, gold is a pain which I analyzed for a lot of people. And I believe that this pay was one in which I thought I would personally take a lot of it, like, take advantage of. And I believe that a lot of people also did, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, gold was very clean, but it didn't come to my point of interest. What is a point of interest? Point of interest is where I personally wanted to short it, right? These concepts, ladies and gentlemen, they might feel like they are just normal concepts in which you might personally get off the internet. But I promise you guys, this is thorough investigation over years, explained within mere seconds to seem or to be shown to the masses as something you can take advantage of. Do you get it? So I'd highly advise you to maybe think about the market as a place in which you can make profit, most definitely. But think about the market in a place in which you can make consistent profit when understanding the manipulation in there. Do you get it? So personally, for me on gold, I actually missed it because it didn't come to my point of interest. I personally wanted it to come to my point of interest so I can make a good amount of chunk from it, but it personally didn't, and it's a mistrade. There are trades like this, it happens, where price doesn't come to a point in which you personally wanted it. I was having a degree of probabilities versus possibilities. The probability is that price would have came to my point of interest shot down. And the possibility is that price would have went the opposite direction. But in this case, neither one happened, and we actually missed the trade in general. So it is okay. Personally, from my side, I've accepted it. I managed to catch a few orders and also closed on my way back home with a few friends in which I was with. We catched the sell to the downside. Then we knew that this buy was actually going to take place. And if I contact him, he would be laughing right now. So the buy actually shot up, manipulated a little bit of highs. And, personally, that what's what happened on gold. One trade that didn't go according to plan this week is only Nasdaq. And the reason why is because personally, I didn't really analyze it, to be honest with you guys. I think even if I can hop into a full hourly time frame, you guys can see there's no analysis, there's no technical analysis, right? And ladies and gentlemen, the truth is, if you do not do your technical analysis, if you do not do your due diligence before entering a trade, you'll be probably very likely to be stopped out of it. Do you get me? So it is very important for you to do what? To do your due diligence by following and researching thoroughly on what you're doing before taking positions on it, right? It is very important for you guys to do so. It is very important for you guys to do so, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, there's 10 minutes remaining of the of the Zoom. I believe that this was a very informative lesson for you guys to also spot out market manipulation. And ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we had to maybe lose this week is because we are not robotic. We are not robotic, meaning to say, even if you use the robots, you will still lose. But the thing is, the system itself wins. Do you get me? The system itself is a profitable system. when used by the right person. And as you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, right over here on this deck, I thought I saw an order block. Price didn't. Price did break the high. After breaking the high, I thought I saw imbalance, but it was actually filled. Then price took me out. It is what it is. I personally respect it for what it is. I enjoyed the trade itself because I managed to actually come out at break even. Although it looks okay, let me just show you guys. So it's you guys are not mistaken. Price actually got to my level. Let me show you. Price got to, and this is the 1 hourly time frame, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget. Price got to my level. It actually shot up. When it was up, I put my stop losses at break even. Price went back, reversed. When I checked up on it in the evening, I saw that, hey, this thing is selling hard. And personally, I sat down like, no, what could have I done differently, right? Why didn't I spot the obvious patterns in which were occurring here? Like if I could have just spot the obvious patterns in which were occurring, maybe I would have been on the right side of the markets. Okay, this is a channel right over here. Let me just remove this for reference sake for now. Then look, okay, cool. Then as you guys can see, we have that impulse to the downside, comeback, consolidation of some sort. Then we have a flag and tap away. So that's the kind of points in which I personally should have looked out for. Personally, I didn't. Do I regret not doing so? Sometimes, but then the thing is, it was never something in which I personally fuss off, right? Or fuss about. Like for me, if I lose, it is what it is. And personally, from my side, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, direction from here might actually come back, right? We might actually get some buying structure to the upside because you can see BOS break of structure. Let's look for price to come down here. As you guys can see, we have an imbalance in which is not yet being filled. You understand? Think this can be named as a change of character. Problem, I don't have that instrument right now. We broke the right over here. We have that imbalance in price. If price can do whatever it does, come back down here, we can get orders to the upside, and those orders would be very valid to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my setup for NASDAQ. That's actually just an overview, a quick overview of personally what might actually take place on NASDAQ. I'm not saying that that's actually what's going to happen, like point for point. I'm not saying that is what is actually going to take place, but what I'm saying is you guys can also stand maybe to gain on that opportunity as price moves, and I believe that you guys will. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was gold. I mean, that was Nasdaq. This is gold. Now I'm looking at USD. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I explained as much as I could. For a free Zoom session, I explained as much as I could. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the best way in South Africa to be caught up on the right side of the market is through using a broker in which is personally for you. A broker in which is for the people, a broker in which is personally best suited to help you in your trading journey to become profitable within the long term. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. South once again. I hope you guys enjoyed this Zoom meeting. I hope it shed some light into your trading. I hope you guys gain more in-depth understanding of what Forex is through what happened here. And I believe that you guys can also benefit highly. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. South from South Capital. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the meeting. I personally did. And I know that you guys can also do. So here on Space Markets, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing you can do is register. Let me just walk you through how you can personally register. The only thing you need to do is register. I'm personally verified. These are my Forex accounts. As you guys can see, I'm not yet funded, but you guys can also do that. Then you guys are gonna have a profitable week. Hope you guys enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen. It was one session in which I personally enjoyed teaching to you guys. It was one session in which I personally enjoyed showing you guys what market manipulation is. It is real. Don't be fooled. Don't let people come into your life and tell you that market manipulation is not real. Ladies and gentlemen, market manipulation is real. It is something in which you can personally take advantage of if you personally understand the markets, right? It is something in which you guys can gain from if you understand the markets, right? But then for a lot of people, they don't do that because they personally don't understand what we're doing, right? as you guys can clearly see, this is just clear evidence right over here on GBP USD for market manipulation. Clear as broad daylight. Let me just show it to you guys. Don't worry about, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry about this meeting. For those who just joined right now, don't worry about it. I'm personally going to be, Nasdaq Ninja is personally going to be meeting on his YouTube. So basically, don't worry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we personally going to share it with you guys. Look at this. This is just clear, like taking you out into direction. A lot of retail traders would have bought at this price point, and it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people didn't catch this trade, right? A lot of people didn't catch this trade, but it is what it is, and you guys shouldn't feel maybe down about it. You guys shouldn't feel bad about it. It is what happens in the market. Price can actually take you out before going into your predicted direction. The reality of trading, right? It is a reality. It is something that can take place. It is something in which happens in the forex market. And one thing you should understand, ladies and gentlemen, is if you are best suited or put in a position to take advantage of the markets, make sure that you do. And the only way you can do that is through understanding market manipulation, where to personally not come in, and when to personally come in. Check this out. Let's just go to higher time frames, right? This is the perfect, for me personally, this is one of the perfect examples in which you can get for market manipulation, right? Is first touch, right? Second touch. We are taught and trained by the textbooks that we read each and every day to enter on the third touch. What happens on the third touch? You have a break. And this is very perfect. Let me just show you something, right? Both directions were manipulated here, whether you like it or not. This is what happened here, right? The first direction in which was manipulated is what? Don't forget to mute yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Please do. Please don't forget to mute yourselves. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first example of market manipulation is when price broke this high. A lot of traders would have just been selling here, broke, it took you guys out. Stop losses were hit. Then it retests. A lot of traders come here for the buy. What happens? Price shoots up, then takes you back down. Do you get me? Lender, please remove the drawings that you just created, then takes you down. Like psychologically, how do you feel like at that point? Do you feel like continuing trading? The first sales took you out. The buys in which you had took you out. How do you personally cope with that? Now, those are concepts in which I explain in my mentorship, ladies and gentlemen. It's concepts in which personally for me right now, since I've trained over the years, 6 years of trading experience, by the way, since I've trained my eye to see this over 6 years, I can personally say now that I see it much more clearer. And that is only generally because of one thing. It's because I've learned to become patient in the market. I've learned to understand things won't go same time, right? Market won't play out same time. But as a trader, the most important thing for you to do is to become disciplined, patient, and wait for your trades and which you personally want. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Soft once again from Soft Capital. You guys can find me on Instagram, and you can find me at Dr. Soft on Instagram, Dr_Soft. You can also find me at Soft Capital 7. That's my other Instagram page where I personally teach clients how to trade. My phone number is 060-104-1000. 060-104-1000 or 060-104-100. Now that's my personal number in which you guys can hit me up to learn my in-depth strategy of how I personally take advantage of these charts. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding trading and understanding the manipulations in trading is the best way to put yourself in the most profitable position to make money in the long term in the forex markets, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be fooled. The manipulation